Hey everybody, it's Dr. Dave Psychiatry. Thanks for coming to the YouTube channel. And once again, reminding you that if medication fixes your problem, that makes it a medical problem, not a mental problem. Today I'm talking about timing and how long it takes to get help. And it basically stems from a couple of stories that I saw recently of a woman who said, and this is both about Adderall actually, both stories are about Adderall, but this could be about any medication really, because it really gets to how long do you delay to ask for help. In other words, if you found a lump in your breast, how long would you wait to go to a doctor? If you woke up and your testicles were swollen, how long would you wait to go to a doctor? So in those dramatic circumstances, people don't wait, but sometimes people wait for years before they get help. So these two stories are really just examples, and they both have to do with people starting Adderall, and both of the people said, one of them said, I should have started Adderall sooner, and the other one said, I should have started Adderall for my son sooner. So starting with the latter, starting with the family situation, the mom basically said, my son is doing so well now and doing just dramatically different. He's gone from like a failing student to doing, to making basically straight A's, to doing so well in school that really nothing more could be expected. And I said to her, it's sort of like me when I was a kid and I couldn't see the blackboard and they gave me glasses and suddenly I can see the blackboard. And once I can see the blackboard, I went from being a problem student to being a decent student and being able to succeed academically. So that simple act of going from here to here was a life changer for me, and it was the same for her child. And basically she said, I waited too long. I wish I would have started him sooner because we lost several years. Now the kid's going to do fine. And so this isn't a doom and gloom story. This is just basically a reminder that if you think there's a problem, there might be. And the worst thing you could do if you're thinking about seeing a professional and asking people about any problem medically, really, whether it's, a medical problem below your neck or if it's a brain chemistry problem, the question is, what are you waiting for? Because this mom just really regretted that she didn't do this earlier for her son. Now he's going to be fine, and you can't get that time back. But the point is that if you're considering it, what's the worst that can happen? You go to your doctor and the doctor says, no, I don't think you have that. I don't think I want to do that. You might waste some money. You might waste some time. But you also might find a key to success. And the second story is a young lady who is she's a medical professional. She's a nurse. And she went from really almost not being able to get through high school to now being a very successful medical professional. And her phrase to me, and I love the phrase, I wrote it down, it said, my professional life has skyrocketed. So people that hear things about Adderall and they're nervous about Adderall and they've seen Breaking Bad and they think that anybody who takes Adderall is, akin to a meth head. Well, nothing can be further from the truth if you really need a medicine like Adderall. If your native production of norepinephrine is low and all you do with your Adderall is go from here to here, then you go from not functioning very well to functioning very well. And this woman went from not able to complete any task whatsoever, couldn't focus, couldn't stay on task, couldn't get things done. And once she's in the right medicine at the right amount, she's basically unstoppable, just unstoppable professionally. And she's thrilled about that. Now, she also says, I probably should have done this sooner. But again, now that she's unstoppable, the message is not doom and gloom. The message is that if you need glasses, get glasses. If you have diabetes, get insulin. If you have blood pressure, get treatment. If you've got a norepinephrine shortage, get something to fix it. If you've got a dopamine excess, get something to fix it. If you've got a serotonin shortage, get something to fix it. So this is the method. And if you haven't seen the videos, you can go back and watch the early videos in the series that talk about troubleshooting. The whole point being that it's no different than any other medical problem. If you need the help, you need to decide how long you're going to wait before you ask for the help. And if you get the help, sometimes you're going to say, I should have done this sooner. So if you're considering it, if you've been talking to your primary care person or a psychiatrist or a psychologist, therapist, whoever you're talking to, and you're deciding whether or not it's time for you to take that next step, which is to say, hey, professional, do I have a brain chemistry problem? Do I have a medical problem that can be treated with medication? Well, my encouragement is to take action and to not wait. Your mental health doesn't mean nearly as much to me medically as your medical health. So as a medical professional, I'm not opposed to the idea of mental health. I sort of don't like the word because it gets used differently by every everybody all over the planet now. In fact, I should probably make a video about why I don't like the word mental health, but that's another video. Today, simply focusing on the fact that I had 2 cases recently that basically said I should have taken action sooner. In this case, it was Adderall, could have been anything. But if you're thinking about it, I hope this has encouraged you to take action, because you got to ask yourself, what am I waiting for, and what am I losing by waiting? So that's what I have to say today in this week's edition of Dr. Dave's Psychiatry. And thanks for coming to see me.